I'd rather be hated for who I am, than loved for who I am not. Rather be dead than cool. The duty of youth is to challenge corruption. The sun is gone, but I have a light. If it's illegal to rock and roll, throw my ass in jail. Punk is musical freedom. It's saying, doing and playing what you want. In Webster's terms, Nirvana means freedom from pain, suffering in the external world, and that's pretty close to my definition of punk rock. The worst crime is faking it. A friend is nothing but a known enemy. I like to complain and do nothing to make things better. I bought a gun and chose drugs instead. I started being really proud of the fact that I was gay even though I wasn't. I really haven't had that exciting of a life. There are a lot of things I wish I would have done, instead of just sitting around and complaining about having a boring life. So I pretty much like to make it up. I'd rather tell a story about somebody else. I really miss being able to blend in with people. If I wouldn't have found Courtney, I probably would have carried on with a bisexual lifestyle. I never listened to Nevermind. I haven't listened to it since we put it out. That says something. I wanted to have the adoration of John Lennon but have the anonymity of Ringo Starr. I didn't want to be a frontman. I just wanted to be back there and still be a rock and roll star at the same time. There's nothing better than having a baby. I've always loved children. I used to work summers at the YMCA and be in charge of, 30 preschool kids. I knew that when I had a child, I'd be overwhelmed, and it's true. I can't tell you how much my attitude has changed since we've got Francis. Holding my baby is the best drug in the world. I definitely feel closer to the feminine side of the human being than I do the male, or the American idea of what a male is supposed to be. Just watch a beer commercial and you'll see what I mean. I was looking for something a lot heavier, yet melodic at the same time. Something different from heavy metal, a different attitude. I thought I would try to be gay for a while, but I'm just more sexually attracted to women. But I'm really glad that I found a few gay friends, because it totally saved me from becoming a monk or something. I've never considered musical equipment very sacred. I've always had a problem with the average macho man. They've always been a threat to me. I never wanted to sing. I just wanted to play rhythm guitar, hide in the back and just play. I'm really interested in smells. I think I'd like to own a perfumery someday. My mother encouraged me to be artistic. It was written in a contract at an early age that I would be an artist. I wanted to be in a punk band before I had even heard any punk music. I have to admit I've found myself doing the same things that a lot of other rock stars do or are forced to do. Which is not being able to respond to mail. Not being able to keep up on current music, and I'm pretty much locked away a lot. The outside world is pretty foreign to me. Sometimes I wish I had taken the Bob Dylan route and sang songs where my voice would not go out on me every night, so I could have a career if I wanted. I like guitars in the Fender style because they have skinny necks. It's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feelings. Wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person you are. If you die, you're completely happy and your soul somewhere lives on. I'm not afraid of dying. Total peace after death. Becoming someone else is the best hope I've got. I'm so happy because today I found my friends. They're in my head. I'm not well read, but when I read well. We have no right to express an opinion until we know all of the answers. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to ask someone else first. I won't eat anything green. Drugs are a waste of time. They destroy your memory and your self-respect and everything that goes along with your self-esteem. They're no good at all. We're so trendy we can't even escape ourselves. I had a really good childhood up until I was 9, then a classic case of divorce really affected me. I'm too busy acting like I'm not naive. I've seen it all, I was here first. I sing and play the guitar, and I'm a walking, talking bacterial infection. I get a thrill meeting kids who are into alternative music. Rap music is the only vital form of music introduced since punk rock. When I heard the Pixies for the first time, I connected with that band so heavily I should have been in that band or at least in a Pixies cover band. I'm left-handed, and it's not very easy to find reasonably priced, high-quality left-handed guitars. But out of all the guitars in the whole world, the Fender Mustang is my favorite. I've only owned 2 of them. I like to make people feel happy and superior in their reaction towards my appearance. John Lennon was definitely my favorite Beatle, hands down. Out of all the guitars in the whole world, the Fender Mustang is my favorite. They're cheap and totally inefficient, and they sound like crap and are very small. I like to have strong opinions with nothing to back them up with besides my primal sincerity. I like sincerity. I lack sincerity. I own a '66 Jaguar. That's the guitar I polish, and baby, I refuse to let anyone touch it when I jump into the crowd. I didn't know how to deal with success. If there was a Rockstar 101, I would have liked to take it. It might have helped me. Every time I see documentaries or infomercials about little kids with cancer, I just freak out. It affects me on the highest emotional level. Anytime I think about it, it makes me sadder than anything I can think of. I've had this terrible stomach problem for years, and that has made touring difficult. People would see me sitting in the corner by myself looking sick and gloomy. The reason is that I was trying to fight against the stomach pain, trying to hold my food down. People looked at me and assumed I was some kind of addict. Throughout my life, I've always been really close with girls and made friends with girls. And I've always been a really sickly, feminine person anyhow, so I thought I was gay for a while because I didn't find any of the girls in my high school attractive at all. Ever since the beginning of rock and roll, there's been an Axl Rose. And it's just boring. It's totally boring to me. I'm a spokesman for myself. It just so happens that there's a bunch of people that are concerned with what I have to say. I find that frightening at times because I'm just as confused as most people. I don't have the answers for anything. I've always wanted male friends that I could be real intimate with and talk about important things with and be as affectionate with that person as I would be with a girl. I don't blame the average 17-year-old punk rock kid for calling me a sellout. I understand that. And maybe when they grow up a little bit, they'll realize there's more things to life than living out your rock and roll identity so righteously. My body is damaged from music in 2 ways. I have a red irritation in my stomach. It's psychosomatic, caused by all the anger and the screaming. I have scoliosis, where the curvature of your spine is bent, and the weight of my guitar has made it worse. I'm always in pain, and that adds to the anger in our music. I've never been a very prolific person, so when creativity flows, it flows. I find myself scribbling on little notepads and pieces of loose paper, which results in a very small portion of my writings to ever show up in true form. Looking back on the production of Nevermind, I'm embarrassed by it now. It's closer to a Motley Crue record than it is a punk rock record. My songs have always been frustrating themes, relationships that I've had. And now that I'm in love, I expect it to be really happy, or at least there won't be half as much anger as there was. When I listen to Nevermind, I hate the production, but there's something about it that almost makes me cry at times.